Hey everyone, today we are looking at simple habits that might slow aging more than you think.
Aging is undefeated, but apparently it hates sleep, sunscreen, and vegetables. 1. Sleep like it's your most expensive skin treatment. Everybody wants a magical anti-aging secret, preferably one sold in a gold jar by a woman with suspiciously motionless eyebrows. But the cheapest trick is also the least glamorous. Sleep. Real sleep. Not "I passed out on the couch with the TV yelling about car insurance" sleep. Your body does most of its repair work when you're unconscious, which means every late night is basically telling your face, "Good luck out there, champ." Poor sleep is like handing stress a megaphone and letting it redecorate your body from the inside out. You wake up looking puffier, moodier, hungrier, and somehow 10% more offended by modern life. Meanwhile, good sleep helps your skin recover, your brain function better, and your hormones stop behaving like drunk relatives at Thanksgiving. It's not exciting, and that's why people ignore it. Nobody brags at brunch about getting 8 hours like they just discovered buried treasure. But if youth had a night shift, sleep would be the employee of the month every single time. 2. Wear sunscreen like the sun. Personally hates you. People still act like sunscreen is optional, as if the sun is a warm little motivational speaker floating in the sky. It is not. The sun is basically a giant nuclear lamp trying to turn your skin into an old leather wallet one afternoon at a time. And the weird part is how casually people cooperate. They'll spend a fortune on serums, collagen powders, red light masks, and creams named after fruit acids discovered by witches, then stroll outside barefaced at noon like they're auditioning to become a raisin. Sun exposure is one of the fastest ways to speed up visible aging. Fine lines, dark spots, rough texture, that "why do I suddenly look like a retired sea captain" vibe. It all adds up. Sunscreen is boring, which is exactly why it works. The best anti-aging trick is usually the one that feels too ordinary to impress anybody. But while trends come and go, UV damage stays loyal for decades. So yes, wear sunscreen every day. Because fighting wrinkles after ignoring the sun is like setting your couch on fire and then buying a candle for ambience. 3. Lift weights. Before gravity finishes the job. A lot of people hear anti-aging and immediately picture cucumber water, meditation music, and a woman on the internet rubbing salmon-colored cream onto her neck. Meanwhile, one of the smartest tricks is gloriously unsexy. Strength training. Not because you need to look like an action hero in a movie trailer, but because muscle is one of the few things that makes aging negotiate. As we get older, the body starts quietly downsizing like a corporation run by panic. Less muscle, less balance, less stability, slower metabolism, more mystery noises every time you stand up. Strength training pushes back. It helps keep bones stronger, posture better, and everyday movements from feeling like you're escaping a wrecked folding chair. Suddenly stairs become stairs again instead of a public insult. Carrying groceries feels normal instead of a test from the universe. And there's something deeply satisfying about discovering your body still responds when you give it a reason to. You do not need to become a gym fanatic. You just need to remind your muscles they still work here, and this office is not closing yet. 4. Walk more, because chairs are slowly winning the war. Modern life has quietly turned humans into extremely advanced sitting machines. We sit to work, sit to eat, sit to relax, and then lie down to recover from all the sitting. Your ancestors walked miles just to argue with neighboring villages. Meanwhile, we celebrate if our watch congratulates us for standing up once every hour. Walking might be the most underrated anti-aging trick in existence. It improves circulation, helps your heart, supports your joints, and politely tells your metabolism that the factory is still open. Even better, it reduces stress, which is responsible for aging people faster than milk left in the sun. Walking isn't glamorous. Nobody posts dramatic montages about it with orchestral music. But that's exactly why it works. 10,000 steps won't turn you into a superhero overnight, but it will slowly keep your body functioning like it hasn't filed for retirement yet. The body was built for movement, not permanent furniture attachment. So the next time you're debating whether to take a walk or stay on the couch, remember, gravity already has a plan for you. 5. Eat real food. Before your body files a complaint. If aliens studied humanity through grocery stores, they would assume humans survive almost entirely on colorful plastic wrappers. Somewhere along the way, food stopped being food and started becoming edible entertainment. Neon cereals, snacks engineered by scientists whose job description probably includes the phrase maximum crunch satisfaction. The problem is that your body still thinks it's living in prehistoric times and expects actual nutrients. When it doesn't get them, things start aging faster than a banana in July. Diets full of whole foods, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, protein, give your body the raw materials it needs to repair cells, maintain skin elasticity, and keep inflammation from throwing a full-scale protest. Highly processed food, on the other hand, is like hiring a demolition crew to manage your house repairs. Sure, it's convenient, but eventually everything collapses. Nobody is saying you must live on kale and regret. But if most of your meals come from something that once grew in soil instead of a factory, your body tends to reward you by aging a little more politely. 6. Stress less, because your body thinks you're being chased by tigers. Your brain cannot tell the difference between "I'm being hunted by a wild animal" and "my email inbox has 47 unread messages." To your nervous system, stress is stress. And when stress sticks around too long, your body starts aging like it's trying to win a speedrun competition. Chronic stress floods your system with hormones that mess with sleep, weaken the immune system, and quietly damage everything from your skin to your heart. It's like leaving your internal alarm system screaming for years straight. Eventually, things start breaking. That's why stress management isn't just wellness influencer propaganda involving candles and suspiciously calm people. It's survival maintenance. Exercise, time outdoors, hobbies, social connection, even simple breathing techniques all tell your nervous system the same important message: the tiger is gone. When that happens, your body shifts back into repair mode instead of emergency mode. And repair mode is where youth quietly hides. You may not eliminate stress completely, because modern life clearly didn't read the instruction manual, but learning to lower it regularly might be one of the most powerful anti-aging habits you can build. 7. Drink water. Like your cells are begging for it. The human body is mostly water, which means dehydration is basically running a complicated biological machine on low battery mode. And yet, people treat drinking water like it's an optional hobby, something you do only after coffee, soda, energy drinks, and whatever mysterious liquid is inside convenience store slush machines. Hydration affects nearly everything connected to aging: skin elasticity, digestion, energy levels, joint function, and even cognitive performance. When you're dehydrated, your skin can look dull, your body tires faster, and your brain starts operating like it just woke up from a 3-day nap. Water doesn't come with dramatic marketing or celebrity endorsements, which is probably why it gets ignored. Nobody makes viral videos titled "Doctors Hate This One Glass of Water Trick." But inside your body, hydration is a basic requirement for repair and maintenance. Think of it like oil in an engine. Without enough of it, everything still runs, just louder, slower, and with a much higher chance of something catching fire. Your cells aren't asking for luxury. They just want enough water to keep the machine functioning smoothly. 8. Keep your brain busy. Before it starts acting like an old computer, aging doesn't just happen to the body, it also happens to the brain. And the brain, much like a neglected laptop, slows down when it stops being challenged. If every day becomes the same routine, same tasks, same shows, same conversations, your brain starts operating on autopilot. Convenient, yes. Ideal for long-term cognitive health? Not exactly. Learning new things forces the brain to build fresh connections between neurons, strengthening mental flexibility and memory. That could mean learning a language, picking up a musical instrument, solving puzzles, reading complicated books, or even attempting hobbies that make you feel slightly incompetent at first. That uncomfortable "my brain hurts" feeling is actually the mental equivalent of a workout. Without it, the brain becomes efficient but fragile. With it, the brain stays adaptable. And adaptability is the secret ingredient behind long-term mental sharpness. The goal isn't to become a genius overnight. The goal is to keep your brain curious enough that it never decides to switch into permanent power-saving mode. Because once the brain stops exploring, it slowly starts settling for the mental version of dial-up internet. 9. Protect your skin like it's your only jacket. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, and somehow people treat it like a decorative accessory. They'll spend hours researching phone cases, but their skincare routine is basically whatever soap is nearby. Skin aging is heavily influenced by daily habits, sun exposure, pollution, sleep, diet, and basic care. When skin isn't protected or nourished, it starts showing the damage like a public complaint board. Wrinkles appear faster, elasticity fades, and suddenly you're Googling, "How did this happen so quickly?" The truth is, skin prefers consistency over miracles. Gentle cleansing, moisturizing, sun protection, and avoiding constant irritation go much further than complicated routines involving 17 mysterious bottles. Think of your skin like the paint on a house. If you protect it regularly, the structure underneath stays strong much longer. Ignore it, and eventually everything starts looking weathered. Aging is inevitable, but rapid, unnecessary damage isn't. Treat your skin like it actually belongs to you and not like it's a rented property you're planning to abandon. 10. Laugh more. Because stress hates good. Comedy laughter might sound like a motivational poster cliché, but biologically it does something surprisingly useful. When you laugh, your body releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that act like tiny mood repair technicians running through your system. At the same time, stress hormones decrease, muscles relax, and your brain gets a brief vacation from whatever nonsense it was worrying about 5 minutes ago. Chronic stress ages people faster than most realize, and laughter is one of the simplest ways to interrupt that cycle. It's basically emotional maintenance. Think about the difference between someone who laughs easily and someone who carries permanent tension in their shoulders, like they're preparing for a surprise exam every day. One person's nervous system resets regularly. The other's stays stuck in emergency mode. Humor doesn't solve life's problems, but it changes how your body handles them. And frankly, if the world insists on being ridiculous, the least efficient response is to face it without a sense of humor. Your brain might as well enjoy the chaos. 11. Maintain friendships before your social muscles retire. Humans like to pretend they're independent creatures who don't need anyone else. Then one long weekend alone proves that theory completely wrong. Social connection plays a massive role in long-term health and aging. People with strong friendships and social networks tend to live longer, experience less stress, and maintain better mental health. Isolation, on the other hand, quietly increases risks for everything from depression to cognitive decline. The brain evolved in communities, not in quiet apartments where the most stimulating conversation comes from arguing with a microwave. Friendships provide emotional support, laughter, perspective, and occasionally someone to tell you that your latest idea is absolutely terrible. They keep your mind active and your mood balanced. Maintaining relationships takes effort, especially as life gets busier and everyone becomes allergic to answering messages. But the payoff is enormous. A simple conversation with someone who actually understands you can reset your mood faster than most wellness routines. In the long run, friendships may do more for healthy aging than half the products marketed as life-changing. 12. Stand up straight before gravity makes the decision. Posture is one of those things nobody cares about until their back begins writing complaint letters. Over time, poor posture can make you look and feel older than you actually are. Slouching compresses the spine, strains muscles, reduces breathing efficiency, and gives the impression that gravity is already winning the battle. Good posture, on the other hand, keeps your spine aligned, improves circulation, and even affects how confident you appear. It's essentially structural maintenance for the human frame. The problem is that modern habits, phones, laptops, couches, endless scrolling, encourage the exact opposite position. People slowly fold themselves forward like human question marks. Correcting posture isn't complicated, but it requires awareness. Strengthening core muscles, adjusting desk setups, and occasionally remembering that your head weighs more than a bowling ball can make a surprising difference. Stand tall, and suddenly your body feels more stable and energized. Slouch forever, and eventually your skeleton begins to treat that position as permanent architecture. Gravity never takes a day off, so giving it less help is generally a good strategy. 13. Eat less sugar. Before your cells start complaining. Sugar is delicious, comforting, and unfortunately very persuasive. Your brain loves it so much that it will happily ignore long-term consequences just to enjoy another sweet bite. The issue isn't occasional treats. It's when sugar becomes a regular guest at every meal. High sugar intake contributes to a process called glycation, where excess sugar molecules attach to proteins like collagen and elastin. These proteins are responsible for keeping skin firm and flexible. When they get damaged, skin loses elasticity and wrinkles appear faster. In simpler terms, too much sugar quietly sabotages the very structures that keep you looking youthful. Beyond skin, excessive sugar intake also increases inflammation and contributes to metabolic problems that accelerate aging throughout the body. The irony is that the satisfaction from sugary foods usually lasts minutes, while the biological consequences last much longer. Reducing sugar doesn't mean living a joyless, dessert-free existence. It simply means treating sweets as occasional celebrations rather than daily survival fuel. Your body will thank you by aging a little more gracefully. 14. Breathe fresh air before your brain forgets what trees. Look like humans spent most of their evolutionary history outdoors, moving through forests, fields, and open landscapes. Now today, many people spend the majority of their time inside climate-controlled buildings illuminated by artificial light. While convenient, this lifestyle quietly disconnects the body from environments it evolved to handle. Fresh air and natural surroundings can significantly reduce stress, improve mood, and support mental clarity. Even short periods outside, walking in a park, sitting near trees, or simply stepping away from indoor noise can reset the nervous system. Nature provides something the modern world rarely offers: quiet stimulation. There's movement, sound, light, and life, but none of it demands immediate attention like notifications and emails. Your brain gets a break from constant digital urgency. That break matters. Chronic mental overload contributes to fatigue, irritability, and faster biological wear over time. You don't need to disappear into the wilderness for 3 weeks. Just spend more time outside than your phone thinks is reasonable. Your brain will remember it once had an original operating system. 15. Keep moving your joints before they decide. Retirement sounds nice. Joints are wonderfully engineered pieces of biological machinery, but they have one major requirement: movement. When joints stay active, they remain lubricated, flexible, and strong. When movement decreases, stiffness slowly creeps in like an unwanted roommate. Many people notice this gradually. Knees feel tighter, shoulders lose range of motion, and suddenly turning your neck becomes a full-body event. Regular mobility exercises, stretching, and varied movement keep joints functioning properly. Think of it like maintaining hinges on a door. If the hinges move regularly, everything opens smoothly. Ignore them long enough, and eventually the door starts making alarming noises every time it moves. The human body follows the same principle. Gentle stretching, yoga, dynamic movement, and everyday activity help preserve flexibility and balance as the years pass. You don't need Olympic-level flexibility to benefit. You just need to remind your joints that they still have a job. Because once the body starts getting stiff, even simple movements feel like negotiations with a very stubborn skeleton. 16. Don't skip protein. Unless you want your muscles to quietly resign. As people age, muscle loss becomes one of the body's favorite hobbies. Scientists even gave it a fancy name, sarcopenia, which basically means your muscles slowly pack their bags and move out if you don't give them a reason to stay. Protein plays a huge role in preventing that slow disappearance. Your body uses protein as raw building material for muscles, tissues, enzymes, and repair processes happening constantly under the hood. Without enough of it, recovery slows down and strength gradually fades. That's why balanced meals with adequate protein help maintain muscle mass, energy levels, and metabolic health. It's not about eating like a bodybuilder who drinks smoothies the color of cement. It's about making sure your meals include real sources like fish, eggs, beans, yogurt, nuts, or lean meats. Your body doesn't need dramatic nutrition experiments. It just needs consistent support. Skip protein too often, and your muscles start behaving like employees who haven't been paid, quietly leaving one by one until you realize the entire department is gone. 17. Take care of your gut before it starts running the show. Your gut is far more than a food processing tube. It's home to trillions of bacteria that influence digestion, immunity, mood, and even brain function. Scientists now refer to it as the second brain, which sounds impressive until you realize many people treat it like a garbage disposal for questionable late-night snacks. A healthy gut microbiome helps regulate inflammation, absorb nutrients efficiently, and maintain a balanced immune system. When gut health suffers due to poor diet, excessive processed food, stress, or lack of fiber, the effects ripple throughout the body. Fatigue increases, digestion becomes unpredictable, and overall health slowly declines. Supporting gut health doesn't require extreme diets or trendy powders discovered by influencers during a yoga retreat. It mostly comes down to eating fiber-rich foods, fermented products like yogurt or kefir, and maintaining variety in your meals. Your gut bacteria thrive on diversity. Feed them well, and they quietly support nearly every system in your body. Ignore them long enough, and suddenly they're making decisions about your health you didn't vote for. 18. Limit alcohol before your liver starts filing complaints. Alcohol occupies a strange place in modern culture. It's often presented as relaxation in a glass, a social lubricant, or a reward after a long day of pretending to be productive. In moderation, it can fit into a balanced lifestyle, but an excessive drinking accelerates aging in ways that are hard to ignore. Alcohol dehydrates the body, disrupts sleep, stresses the liver, and increases inflammation throughout the system. Over time, it affects skin quality, energy levels, metabolism, and overall health. Many people underestimate the sleep disruption alone. A few drinks might make you feel sleepy, but the quality of sleep declines significantly, leaving your body without the deep repair cycles it relies on each night. Think of alcohol like a loud guest at a quiet maintenance meeting inside your body. A small presence may not ruin the evening, but when it becomes a regular party, the workers stop getting anything done. Cutting back, even slightly, often leads to better sleep, clearer skin, and noticeably improved energy. 19. Keep your balance. Before gravity conducts a surprise test. Balance might not sound like an exciting anti-aging strategy, but it's one of the most important physical abilities people quietly lose over time. Good balance depends on coordination between muscles, joints, vision, and the nervous system. When these systems stay active, your body reacts quickly to prevent falls or sudden instability. But when balance training disappears from daily life, those reactions slow down. That's why simple activities like standing on one foot, yoga, tai chi, or stability exercises can make a surprising difference. These movements train the brain and body to communicate efficiently. It's like upgrading the body's internal stability software. Maintaining balance reduces fall risk, improves posture, and strengthens small stabilizing muscles that often get ignored during regular workouts. The funny thing is that balance exercises often look ridiculously easy until you try them. Suddenly, your body starts wobbling like a shopping cart with one bad wheel. But that wobble is exactly the point. Each attempt teaches your nervous system how to stay upright when life, or gravity, tries to push you sideways. 20. Give your eyes a break. Before screens become your entire universe. Human eyes evolved to scan landscapes, track movement, and adjust naturally to changing distances. Now, many people spend most of their day staring at glowing rectangles held inches from their faces. The result is digital eye strain, fatigue, dryness, headaches, and that strange feeling where your eyes behave like they've been working overtime without benefits. While screens aren't disappearing anytime soon, giving your eyes regular breaks helps prevent unnecessary strain. One popular rule is the 20-20-20 method. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. It sounds simple, almost suspiciously reasonable, which is probably why people ignore it. But these small breaks relax the focusing muscles in the eyes and help reduce tension. Eye health matters for overall well-being, independence, and quality of life as we age. After all, navigating the world becomes much harder when everything starts looking like a blurry impressionist painting. Your eyes have been working non-stop since the day you were born. Giving them occasional breaks is the least you can do. 21. Keep curiosity alive. Before your brain decides it's seen enough. One of the most powerful anti-aging habits isn't physical at all. It's curiosity. Curious people tend to explore new ideas, learn new skills, and expose their brains to unfamiliar challenges. That constant novelty keeps the mind adaptable and engaged. When curiosity fades, life becomes predictable, repetitive, and mentally quieter. While that might sound comfortable, it's not great for long-term cognitive health. The brain thrives on new information and unexpected connections. Reading different topics, traveling, learning skills, asking questions, or simply trying new experiences forces the brain to keep updating its internal map of the world. Think of curiosity as intellectual exercise. Without it, the brain starts behaving like a library that stopped buying new books decades ago. Everything becomes outdated and dusty. With curiosity, however, the mind stays active, flexible, and eager to understand how things work. And a curious brain rarely feels old because it's too busy discovering the next interesting thing to worry about how many birthdays have passed. 22. Get sunlight early, before your body. Forgets what morning as your body runs on an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. It's basically the biological schedule that tells you when to feel awake, when to feel sleepy, when hormones should rise, and when your body should start repairing itself. The problem is that modern life has turned that schedule into complete chaos. Many people wake up and immediately stare at their phones under artificial light instead of exposing their eyes to natural sunlight. That confuses the brain's timing system. Morning sunlight helps signal to the brain that the day has started. This triggers hormones that boost alertness, improve mood, and set up healthier sleep later at night. Without that signal, the body drifts through the day like it missed an important meeting. Getting outside for even 10 minutes in the morning can help regulate sleep cycles, improve energy, and support overall health. It's one of the simplest biological upgrades available. Your ancestors didn't need a reminder to see the sun every morning. Modern humans somehow replaced that habit with checking notifications. 23. Stop smoking before your cells. Staging a full rebellion, if there were a global competition for fastest way to age your body, smoking would be a strong contender for the gold medal. Smoking damages nearly every system in the body. It restricts blood flow, reduces oxygen delivery to tissues, accelerates skin aging, and increases inflammation across multiple organs. The effects are especially visible on the skin because reduced circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching those cells. Over time, this leads to dullness, wrinkles, and slower healing. But the internal damage goes far deeper, affecting the lungs, heart, and immune system. The remarkable thing is how quickly the body begins to recover once smoking stops. Circulation improves, oxygen levels stabilize, and repair processes begin working more efficiently. The body is surprisingly good at fixing itself when it's not constantly fighting chemical warfare. Quitting isn't easy, especially when habits have been around for years. But every smoke-free day gives your cells a break from damage control and lets them return to their actual job, keeping you alive and functioning. 24. Protect your hearing before silence starts winning. Hearing loss often creeps in so gradually that people barely notice it happening. First, you ask someone to repeat themselves occasionally. Then, the television volume slowly climbs higher and higher until neighbors begin wondering if you're hosting a concert. Long-term exposure to loud noise damages tiny hair cells in the inner ear responsible for detecting sound vibrations. Once these cells are damaged, they don't regenerate. That's why protecting hearing early is incredibly important. Simple habits, like lowering headphone volume, wearing ear protection at loud events, and avoiding constant exposure to intense noise, can preserve hearing for decades. Hearing health also connects strongly to cognitive well-being. Studies show that untreated hearing loss is associated with increased risks of social isolation and cognitive decline. When hearing fades, the brain receives less stimulation from conversation and environmental sounds. Protecting your ears is essentially protecting your brain's daily soundtrack. Your ears have been faithfully transmitting information to your brain every second since birth. Giving them a little protection ensures they don't decide to retire early. 25. Spend time with younger people. Before you forget, modern life exists. Every generation thinks the next one is confusing. Language changes, technology evolves, and suddenly someone half your age is explaining something called a trend that lasts 12 hours. But interacting with younger people can actually help slow mental aging. Younger generations bring different perspectives, cultural references, and ways of thinking about the world. Engaging with them keeps your brain adaptable and prevents the mental trap of believing that everything new is automatically suspicious. It also forces you to stay updated on changing ideas, technology, and social dynamics. This constant adjustment keeps cognitive flexibility alive. People who isolate themselves within only one age group often experience a kind of cultural stagnation where the world feels like it's moving too fast to understand. Mixing generations breaks that pattern. Plus, younger people tend to bring energy, humor, and unpredictability into conversations. Sometimes you learn something useful. Sometimes you just learn why people are suddenly dancing in grocery stores for internet views. Either way, your brain stays engaged instead of settling permanently into back-in-my-day mode. 26. Practice gratitude. Before your brain gets stuck in complaint mode, the human brain has a natural tendency to focus on problems. From an evolutionary perspective, this made sense. Spotting dangers helped our ancestors survive. Unfortunately, modern brains still operate with that same bias, which means they often scan the day looking for everything that went wrong. Over time, constant negativity increases stress and keeps the nervous system stuck in alert mode. Practicing gratitude helps shift that mental pattern. This doesn't mean pretending life is perfect or forcing fake optimism. It simply means regularly noticing things that are working, improving, or bringing small moments of satisfaction. Gratitude activates areas of the brain connected to positive emotions and emotional regulation. It can lower stress levels and improve overall mental well-being. People who practice gratitude consistently often report better sleep, improved mood, and stronger relationships. It's essentially mental balance training. Without it, the brain easily becomes a professional critic, reviewing every inconvenience of daily life. With it, the brain learns to recognize that not everything deserves a complaint letter. 27. Keep a sense of humor before life starts. Taking itself way too seriously. Aging becomes much heavier when everything feels serious all the time. Responsibilities pile up, news cycles become exhausting, and suddenly adulthood feels like a long meeting that nobody remembers scheduling. Humor acts like pressure relief for the brain. When you laugh, muscles relax, stress hormones drop, and your nervous system gets a momentary reset. People who maintain a sense of humor about life's absurdities often handle stress better and recover faster from difficult situations. Humor creates psychological distance from problems, allowing the brain to process challenges without feeling overwhelmed. It also strengthens social connections because shared laughter bonds people quickly. Life will always contain chaos, awkward moments, and plans that fail spectacularly. A sense of humor turns those experiences into stories instead of permanent stress. The body benefits from that shift. After all, aging is unavoidable, but becoming permanently grumpy about it is optional. And if life insists on being ridiculous sometimes, you might as well laugh before gravity gets the final punchline. Which trick surprised you most? Try one today. Your future self might complain less.